I think I'm a special one.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
Hello and welcome to the Total Soccer Show. My name is Daryl Grove and I'm joined by a man who's...
All right, so that was the intro to the Total Soccer Show podcast we listened to. I started listening to it like 5 years ago, I guess. And the co-host, Daryl, he passed away from cancer this week, so pretty sad. So that was always his like intro to the pod. He'd always say, hello, welcome to the Total Soccer Show. And it was always like, sweet, got like a nice hour of soccer coverage in. So it sucks, but wanted to honor him by doing that.
Yeah. Definitely one of the best soccer podcasts. Like, definitely got me in the podcast.
Yeah.
I think if it wasn't for those guys, like, we probably wouldn't have made a podcast, you know?
Yeah, and they weren't, the most tactical guys or whatever, but they lived in the U.S., so Daryl was actually from England. He was a Wolves fan, but he they were involved in, like, Richmond soccer. They were from Virginia, lived in Richmond, and they were just, like, involved in, like, the men's national team, MLS, USL, the Richmond Kickers, whatever. So I thought it was cool.
Kind of covers the same stuff that we do.
Yeah. They talk about like some cool topics, and they really built that podcast up to be like more than just them two. It's like a network now. They have people working for them. They might have got bought out actually, but
yeah.
So yeah, just wanted to honor Daryl by throwing out his hello and welcome there. But all right, so episode 12 on the Half Turn podcast. What's up, Chad?
Nothing much. Same stuff going on. How about you?
Yeah, same. I'm excited. I know it's been, 2 or 3 weeks since we recorded the last one. I think the last one was probably our best podcast we've done.
We're giving people a chance to catch up.
Yeah, hopefully they're catching up. And we've been, like, really busy, too. So, like, yeah, we should be cranking out more podcasts, but we're also out there, like, doing this stuff, playing, coaching, watching soccer. So we're gathering the info in our brains, ready to spit it through this mic.
Yeah, I've been pretty busy with soccer and practice and whatnot. But I know you've been busy with coaching. Mm-hmm. We got some guests lined up in the future.
Yeah.
Other exciting stuff going on. So just because we haven't put out a podcast doesn't mean we're not doing things behind the scenes.
And honestly, it would be even more crazy if you were having your season too. It definitely would be more, like much more time consuming. But like the fall is really like hotbed soccer season. Like I'm coaching high school. I started my club. Like you're still doing all your stuff and started school. So it's still like a busy time.
Yeah.
So like definitely into the winter, like should be a good time to like, that might be where we get into like some really like kind of deep conversation about certain topics. That might be easier to like deep dive into when stuff kind of calms down a little bit.
Yeah.
What are you wearing?
So I don't know if I've worn this before on the podcast.
It might be a repeat, dude. It's the first repeat.
My selection at my apartment's not as big as the one at home, but it's a Dortmund training jersey. Might be like their warm-up shirt. I don't know. 2 stars though.
Yeah, got 2 stars. So in the mail, or I got it from soccer.com, pre-ordered. It was on back order. Got my pool sick kit. Let me turn it on. Pool sick on the back. It's like the white, but it's kind of like a light, like really light blue, so it's not really like white.
I like it.
I like it. Huh?
I think it's sick, but I don't know what the thing with the 3 is.
I think it's like it's their new sponsor. It's like some mobile phone company, or it's like a Verizon or AT&T in England. Yeah, it's stupid that there's just like a massive 3. Like I just bought like a Marcos Alonso jersey or something.
Word.
Yeah. So there's not like we kind of want to just catch up on some news and then maybe go into another topic. So we were thinking some Brenden Aaronson news, some Philadelphia Union news, a little bit of news around MLS, and Yeah, maybe talk like some European soccer, and then our like main kind of development topic for today is we're gonna dive into like when me and Chad, like when did we develop the most as players? So was it when we started training on our own? Was it when we went up a level and played at a higher level? What kind of clicked in our brains? What didn't work? So that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So first news, I'm sure everyone has seen it, and we always talk about him. Brenden Aaronson from the Union got sold to RB Salzburg. They play in Austria. 6 million, like base transfer. Could go up to 9 million based on like playing incentives and that kind of stuff. So probably goals, playing time, starts. And then between a 10 to 20% sell-on fee or sell-on clause, whatever. So let's say Salzburg sell him, not that it's going to happen. They sold him for 100 million and we have a 10% sell-on clause. We get 10 million because it's 10% of the future fee. So a lot of teams put that in there, and it's almost like some confidence that Salzburg's going to buy him. They invest money into him, but they're planning on flipping him in the future.
Yeah.
And it's helpful that Salzburg, so the Red Bull group, they own New York Red Bulls. I think they own one in like Australia or something too. I don't know. Maybe not.
There might be one somewhere else tomorrow.
Yeah. Then they own RB Salzburg, which is in Austria, and they own RB Leipzig in the Bundesliga in Germany. So the Bundesliga one is the top one. They made it to the semifinal of the Champions League this summer. But the one in Austria is still legit. They're in the Champions League.
It's where Erling Haaland came from.
Yep.
It's where Minamino, the guy on Liverpool now.
Yep. They sold a center back to Wolfsburg this past summer.
And they win their league every year, so they're going to be in the Champions League all the time, and they're a solid team. Like maybe they'll get another group. Maybe
so the Austrian league isn't like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I heard Jesse Marsch say at some point. There's a quote. He said like the top 3 or 4 teams are similar to New York City FC playing their best in MLS. So New York City FC, top 2 to 3 team in the East, always has a good amount of money invested into them. But the rest of the league is like a step down from MLS. So it'd be like a bad team in MLS, like the worst team, I guess. So like a DC United or something like that.
What's your point? Like, what are you talking about?
I'm saying that Jesse Marsch said in Austria.
Oh, in Austria?
Yeah, in that league. You have like 3 or 4 teams who are legit like New York City caliber. So close to the best of MLS. And the rest are like the worst in MLS.
So he's comparing it to the MLS.
Yeah, I guess. I think he was just using that as a reference for Americans.
All right.
To gauge how good it is. But yeah, so their manager's Jesse Marsch, American, coached the New York Red Bulls. He's like boys with Jim Curtin, Philadelphia Union coach. So I think it helps. It's like the perfect scenario for him, I think.
Yeah.
You gonna watch a lot of Austrian league now?
I might have to. They'll be in the Champions League, so I'll be able to watch them then. I guess I need to get my Austrian Bundesliga live stream package sorted out.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it's just cool to see like someone who came up through the Union Academy. It's like we've seen Zach Pfeffer, who was like the first homegrown signed by the Union. But I think he joined it at, I don't know, 15, 16, something like that.
When what? Like the academy?
The Union Academy, yeah. But somebody like Aaronson from the area played at the Union Juniors, played all the way through, played for Bethlehem Steel, then played for the Philadelphia Union, like broke into the first team, like making noise. Like this is legit, like progress. And it's the first of many, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, especially like the Union have had young players come up like ever since they've been in like a club. And it's crazy that now it's like the first player that they're really selling.
Yeah. But it makes sense. In 2010, when the Union came around, what's Brenden Aaronson? Like, I don't know. What year was he born? Would have been 7, 8,
10
something
years
like
ago,
that.
10.
Yeah. So the Union have been around for his big development years. So he's part of that. True. So just imagine when this good union academy has been around for, in 5 years, when these kids, all they know is that there's a professional soccer team in Philadelphia and there's academy right there. Like, I'm starting to think this could be like a machine just pumping out professionals.
Yeah, but I don't know if we want to start talking about it yet, but the fact that they're taking away Union too,
Yeah.
I think might hurt that a little bit.
Well, so what's going to happen is kind of like the next thing we want to talk about. All of the MLS USL teams, like Union 2, Red Bull 2s, all those are dropping out of USL Championship, and there's rumors of like, I guess you call it a reserve league. I don't really like the idea because, yeah, you could put more focus on development, but we had a reserve league before in early MLS, and it didn't go well. Now, I'm sure they'll do better with it, but part of it is that the Union 2 are going up against the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, who might have a 27-year-old guy who's been around and still trying to make it, and if he doesn't play well, he's done being a professional soccer player. So there's less of that, like, professionalism,
With who?
With if you just have a league of these Union 2, Red Bull 2.
I think their thinking behind it is that you look at some of these teams like the Union, like, yeah, they're putting out like a ton of young players on their team, but like they're not winning games. And like with the Red Bulls too, Portland Timbers too, whatever, like they just throw their young players in because they don't not bringing in other types of players coming through. They're only bringing their own youth players in, and they're not that good. Like, they're really good players, but the team isn't that good compared to
the real teams, like the Riverhounds, I would say, or something like that.
Yeah.
I think part of it is I think MLS and USL kind of butt heads a little bit because I feel like you see MLS, the bottom end of like the cities they want to expand to, like Austin or something like that, or Minnesota, are the same like top end cities that USL has teams in, like St. Louis as well. So now they're like kind of clashing, and I think they don't want to be too affiliated with each other.
I think we're getting closer to promotion relegation with this too.
Nah, that's a whole separate topic, but this has
I think so.
Pretty far off, honestly.
No, because you can't promote the Union 2 up and down.
Hey, it's like in
second team of an MLS team.
In Spain, they're not going to promote Barca B.
Yeah, but not every team has a second team. I don't think so.
Like, I don't think any of this system could work for promotion relegation. But what are you talking about? Are you thinking like promotion relegation within USL?
Could be. That would be the start, probably.
But for what? Like, I don't want to get in too far into it, but if you can't start on the ground level and make that top end money. What are you saying?
Sorry, I didn't hear you. What?
I'm saying part of promotion relegation is that you could start on the ground level, invest, and get to the top and make the top end money, the Premier League money or the MLS money, where you are the top of the chain in that country.
I don't know. It's just a thought. Maybe that's.
Yeah, it sounds good, but there's no incentive for someone to get promoted to USL League One and USL Championship. If I owned the team, like, it might be more beneficial for me to just be the best team in USL League One, because I'm sure the TV rights and the money and the tickets or whatever aren't that much higher in USL Championship.
Okay. I mean, like England doesn't have a thing like that where like Man U doesn't have a second team playing. They have like a reserve league.
Yeah.
I think that's what the MLS is aiming towards.
So maybe what we do is we have a reserve team.
It might just be like a
teams
thing or something.
Teams could still be encouraged to send players out on loan as well to USL teams.
Yeah.
I don't think the Union would do that because I think the Union are very specific in their system, which is a good thing.
I don't know if the Union have like ever loaned out a player to someone.
Harrisburg City Islanders back in the day.
Yeah. Maybe back in the day, but now like they don't need to.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see more Union players go out on loan because so they consistently play like professional,
Mm-hmm. So that'd be interesting, and I think like we'll read more about it and more stuff will come out about it. I did want to lay this out there for you. I think I have a pretty good theory on USL, and I think they're trying to be savvy in like the soccer market here.
Yeah.
So look, you have USL Championship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty high level. You have some really good markets. It's not really the top of the top. Like they'll never get Division I sanctioning from US Soccer or whatever, but a good professional league with increasing wages. They have a players union, all that stuff, right? USL League One, also professional. Not quite as USL Championship level, but you could still invest, get into USL League One. Then you have USL League Two as the, like what it was, the PDL, right? So these are players that go to college and in the summer need a place to play, and it gets, scouts' eyes are on them and everything like that. And it's like the highest level. It's like, for the most part, sometimes like higher level than college.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what a lot of these USL teams are doing, there's a USL Academy League now starting where these professional teams have their own academy leagues and academy teams. So they're now in the business. They're incentivized to sign youth players, develop them, sign them, and hopefully transfer them. So they're trying to get in the business of the transfer market, selling kids out, selling kids to MLS, then to Europe, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think they have they're trying to cover all their bases, right? Youth, then they either go pro, USL League One or Championship, or college. So they still have skin in the game in college because they have these USL League Two teams.
Yeah.
And then when they have that, they kind of funnel them back in to the pro game.
Yeah.
So it's like if MLS is a lot of promotion relegation people say it's very like exclusive, right? They don't want people in. They pay these big franchise fees. But if USL is trying to cast like a wide net over everybody in the US, get to more markets, whatever, like it makes sense.
They're all over. I just realized like there's so many teams.
Yeah. So, and honestly, I think it's helped US soccer a lot. It would be better if there were promotion relegation and more teams and a better system, but they've done pretty good, like just kind of developing on the fly here.
Definitely. Is like the USL like affiliated with MLS? Or are they kind of like their separate thing?
They're not affiliated at all. Now, US Soccer sanctioned MLS as Division One, USL Championship is Division Two, USL League One is Division Three. So
Yeah.
US Soccer's involved in everything, along with NISA. NISA is Division Three as well.
And the funny part about it is that they call the name of the leagues that they call it USL Championship, USL League One, League Two.
Yeah.
Like they're literally just copying off of England.
Yeah.
It's like trying to when I try to explain that to someone, they never know what I'm talking about because there's a league called the Championship, and then there's a league called League One, and then League Two.
Yeah.
And those are tiers 2, 3, and 4. And then there's the MLS, which is 1. Like
it would make a lot more sense if USL League Two was just like another pro league. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there was like a USL PDL or something that they actually called it.
Yeah.
You know?
Like USL Championship and USL League One are very similar, but like USL, like compared to USL League Two.
Yeah, exactly. You think like a step down from USL League One to League Two is like, oh, whatever. But no, it's like insanely different. Like college kids playing in the summer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But back to Aaronson and the union and all that stuff. Who do you think's next to go? Mark McKenzie?
Definitely McKenzie.
Yeah. Remember, I'm going to bring it up every time. Remember I told you we were sitting there like 2 years ago at an Open Cup game, and I told you he's next level?
Don't remember you
Dude, I definitely said that. You just don't want to give me credit.
No, I don't remember that, but I'll admit you've been high on Mark McKenzie for a while.
He's got that next level, and he's literally like top 3 center back in the league at this point.
I was actually talking to one of my friends who used to play with him, and my friend said he's not that good. Like he's just athletic.
Well, then they haven't watched him because he's a good passer. He's savvy now. Sometimes I think he relies on his athleticism enough, like or too much. Like he knows he's good.
But yeah, he get that. I think he played in Europe.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if Celtic's the right move for him because like there's no way the Scottish.
Is that still the rumor?
It was. I don't know, but there's no way that league's an upgrade over MLS. It's literally just you get to train every day with Celtic and you're in the Champions League.
Yeah. Who else could we see? Honestly, dude, Fontana.
I've heard Fontana.
What?
He has a European passport. I don't know where he's from.
Yeah, I don't know. But he's been balling, so.
I've been kind of high on him too.
No, you have not.
Dude, I seriously have been. Not as high as McKenzie, but he scores goals. He makes really nice late runs into the box.
Yeah, he's been playing well this season. He's going to be big when Aaronson leaves.
I hope we're going to need someone to step up. Hopefully we use his Aaronson money to sign someone else. I know we probably overspent for Jamiro Montero, but that was necessary. Like, you want to compete for MLS Cups.
I a striker or a winger. Can't rely on Shabilko and Santos and Alcina.
Well, all right. So Alcina's getting older. I think Shabilko's good, right? We're going to ride him till he falls off. Sergio Santos is good, whether he's a rotation striker or a constant starter. Yeah. He's been good for us. What's his face? Wooten, he's out, bro. He's terrible.
He's not good at all.
Oh, my gosh. And then
he had the first touch.
He just doesn't do anything. Just walks around like he's real big.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Yeah, Alcina, we don't play with wingers, so it's hard to like go after a winger. But part of the thing with Aaronson is like he could go play left wing and Alcina could be on the right. Santos could kind of play on the wing. I do think we have Corey Burke back, so I think Corey Burke slides in nice as that like third striker when get Wooten the F out of here. What'd you say?
Said he's back.
Yeah, I know. He was playing in Austria.
They actually traded him. Like he was playing for Salzburg, and they said they did a straight swap, Aaronson for Corey Burke.
Yeah. But yeah, with Salzburg, I'm sure a lot of people listening know, but they're known for their pressing, right? The Red Bulls, New York Red Bulls press a lot. RB Leipzig press a lot. So Salzburg's known for like their high intensity, their pressing, their work rate. They make the field really vertical, like interchanging. And the Union kind of play like that too. It's a different style than the New York Red Bulls, but it's similar principles. And I think that's where a lot of the really like smart people in soccer are going towards. There was a revolution towards like tiki-taka, and then there was a revolution towards this and that. And now I think it's this like vertical pressing game, like interchanging positions kind of thing.
And that's what Brendan's really good at too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, he's good with the ball and like creative and stuff, but his work rate is really good.
Yeah.
Especially for an attacking mid. Usually attacking mids just like to chill and don't really do much defending, but he's all over the place.
Yep. You got anything else on that, or you want to move on?
I got nothing. I just think it's a good deal for both teams.
Yeah. It gives Aaronson the ability to go in Europe, challenge himself, and move on. I think this honestly puts Aaronson as a lock. If you're making a best 23 national team roster and he's getting consistent starter minutes at Salzburg, he's in the roster. He's at least on the squad, right?
Yeah.
It puts him
now. I don't think so right now.
No, if he's a starter for Salzburg, which I don't know if he is when he goes over there, I think it puts him at least on the roster if there's a World Cup that next day.
Maybe.
We'll see, hopefully. But and the next move, if he goes to Leipzig or something like that, then yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm. What else did I have? Anything? All right. Well, next thing, you might not know about it because you didn't seem like you knew about it. The Supporters Shield, which is the trophy they give out for the MLS team that finishes top of the table in the regular season, so the most points. So disregarding playoffs, kind of like just the champion of any like European league. They're like council or whatever, because there's like a council and it's a foundation and whatever. They came out and said they're not going to award the trophy this year because of, COVID and a weird season and no fans in the stands and a bunch of stuff like that, which I think is stupid.
Because the Union have a good chance.
Yeah, the Union have a good chance. I mean, this has been like, if you're paying attention to this MLS season, it's like you're a real diehard fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe they'll do something and still give that Supporters Shield winner a spot in the CONCACAF Champions League. That'd be ridiculous if we won it and didn't get anything.
Yeah, that would suck because you probably get money. You get to go into the Champions League and stuff.
Dude, honestly, like as a Union fan, I think I would rather guarantee a spot in the CONCACAF Champions League than have like a 50-50 chance at MLS Cup. Is that stupid?
Not really. I mean, I think we have more than a 50-50 chance. Oh,
No, we definitely don't have a 50-50.
I said
All
that
right,
wrong.
so let's say we're going in. Would you rather be guaranteed a CONCACAF Champions League spot or have to go to Seattle and play MLS Cup?
Probably just played it MLS Cup. You win
MLS Cup, obviously you win the Cup.
And then you go to the MLS Cup and you have one game. Like, I'm taking the Union in one game to beat most teams in the league.
One shot. Universe on the line. Iguodala.
$1.
Dude, I think we'd be nasty in the Champions League.
No MLS teams are nasty in the Champions League, though.
I'd fly down to Costa Rica and watch us play Saprissa.
Yeah, I'd go to Honduras and catch a game.
Yeah, I love a good game in Honduras.
Go to the Bahamas.
I don't think anyone from the Bahamas is making it. They're in the instead of Europa League, like Americana League or something.
Caribbean Cup.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, that sucks. So we'll monitor that. Hopefully, Union secure that Champions League spot.
Yeah. So.
So today, like I said before, I think it'd be kind of dumb if we got on this podcast and just talked about like current news, like too much current news, because you might be late listening to this podcast, or we might not have a podcast for 3 weeks, and then we got to catch up on all this stuff. But I do want to talk about some stuff. Like today was the El Clasico, Real Madrid and Barcelona. Real Madrid won 3-1, but Serginho Dest started at right back for Barcelona. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's been playing some right back, some left back too. And you said, no, he can't play left back. But
I never said that. I just think if he's that good of a right back, you don't move him out of the right back spot. And honestly, I don't think
good that he can play two positions.
Yeah, that's great. I'm not saying he can't, but I also think Barcelona's the team that's – if Bayern Munich put him at left back, I'd be much more like positive on his – like what he could become as a left back. But Barca doing it is just kind of like, hey, bro, go play left back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I haven't been able to watch any of him for Barcelona, though.
I was thinking about tweeting like if soccer doesn't quite make it in this country, it's because of beIN Sports, bro.
Wow.
They have the rights to La Liga, but nobody has beIN Sports. And you got to buy like Fubo TV, and it's like, come on, dude.
Didn't we try and get on something last year when the La Liga restarted?
We got a free trial of Fubo TV, but it was like $50 a week or a month or something crazy like that.
Definitely not $50 a week.
Dude, I think it was $2 million a week.
That's funny. I gotta say, some people, U.S. Soccer Twitter and Instagram, those type of people on the, I think everyone just kind of needs to chill out a bit. Like, yes, Messi touched Serginho Dest's head. You don't need to flip out and say, like, it made your week or whatever.
Yeah, people are like, never thought I'd see the day. It's like, yeah, I didn't think we'd have a,
Yeah, I didn't grow up hoping that there's just, like, this young American right back that's going to play with Messi. Like,
that grew up in the Netherlands. Like, I wish we had a dual national.
Really found out about him a year and a half ago, so it's not like
it's still cool though. But you were saying like, wow, this is awesome. I think it would hit home more for me if it was somebody like Aaronson or Pulisic, or even Tyler Adams too. Like those guys came up through our system, were legit, like came up through the American system. The Dest is still 100% American. Like love him on the national team, but he it's fortunate for him he came up through the Ajax system.
Lived in Europe.
Yeah. So that's cool that he played. I saw something that they forced Dest to go do the interview after the game because like all of the older players were like mad that they lost, and Dest doesn't even speak Spanish.
Oh, so what he did?
He literally told them like, I speak English. But dude, like Barca sucks. They suck. Like look at their lineup today. It's not good.
So who started left back? Jordi Alba?
Yeah.
Would they have PK and who played center?
Speaking of this, though, don't you think Mark McKenzie is like a Carlos Puyol?
He doesn't have the leadership of Carlos Puyol yet.
Not yet, but he's big, strong, like can pass. Dude, he's Puyol.
You're comparing Puyol to Mark McKenzie? Like,
Yeah, I am. He's going to play for Real Madrid one day, though. It's the opposite.
Tweet that at him. See what he thinks.
I will. Longley.
Of course.
I like that guy. He's cool. Pedri, Busquets, De Jong, Coutinho, Messi, and Fati. It's just, I don't know. What does that team win?
Not La Liga this year, probably not.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I didn't watch the game either, and I haven't watched much
They have a
Barcelona,
ton
so I don't want to say
players.
too much.
So they have a ton of good young players, but
They always do.
and then you just put Messi in there.
Yeah. Today was also Chelsea Man United. I just happened to be able to catch that game. I just wanted to talk about so it ended 0-0. Did you see any of the game?
I wasn't able to catch any of the game.
So I just have a quick rant on Chelsea. I think Frank Lampard, game in, game out, has shown that he doesn't know what he's doing. Today he rolls out a back three, Reece James and Ben Chilwell as wing backs, Jorginho, Conte. Yeah, Jorginho and Conte as center mids.
Yeah, and
then
Werner and Havertz.
Werner, Havertz, and Pulisic. Then they end up subbing in Ziyech. But it's every big game, so every regular game, it seems like they start with a 4-1, 4-1, 4-3-3, whatever. And then every big game, it's he doesn't trust his players enough to play his system, and he just abandons it. And it's dude, how many big name, world-class signings do you need to have to go play a system and boss teams? Because it doesn't work. He's not a good manager. I don't think he knows what he's doing.
Well, would they tie last game?
They gave up a cheap goal.
So maybe he's trying to change the system right now. Maybe what he's got isn't working.
But he did it last year too, and he's bringing in. I know part of it's probably the board or whatever, but he's bringing in these guys, and I don't know how they fit together. I don't know what Havertz's best position is. I don't know if what kind of forward Werner is, and if Ziyech. That's for him to figure out, but it doesn't seem like he knows it yet. And I think he's just throwing stuff at the wall, seeing if it sticks. Play Pulisic on the right. If he's your best attacker and he's better on the left, then play him on the left. Every time he plays Mason Mount as a winger and not a attacking midfielder, he goes from here in my book down a peg because he's not a winger. Every time he plays that stupid three in the back with four attacking midfielders or two defensive midfielders, two attacking midfielders, it doesn't work. And it's you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know.
Dude, it's awful.
Yeah.
And we're not going to be able to see the best of Pulisic. And what if this isn't the best place for Pulisic to develop if he's not really playing as a winger?
I mean, the position he's playing in, if he played on the left side, I feel like that's probably his best position. He can play wide, he can play in the middle,
Well, today he played as a left winger, but when
he played on the
a left
there?
number 10. Because Chilwell took that space.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know what the dude's trying to do with his team.
I mean, once everyone's healthy, Ziyech is just getting back from injury, I'm pretty sure. It's his second or third game. I'm sure they'll play a 4-3-3.
With who?
What do you mean with who?
Werner, Havertz, Ziyech, and Pulisic?
Yeah.
I don't see I'm sure Havertz can play as a 10, but I don't think he's best as a 10.
What do you think his best position is?
It's just just throw him up top and let him be creative.
Yeah.
But then I think Mason Mount is a legit number 10. I'm pretty high on him.
Yeah. I like Mason Mount too.
Yeah. I hated him beginning of last year, but now I like him.
So what are you getting at?
Well, I also hated Mason Mount early in the season last year because he was playing left wing where Pulisic should have been playing, and he's not a winger. He's a number 10. Basically, I'm getting at is that Lampard doesn't really know what he's doing. I'm not saying he's a bad manager, but it seems like right now he doesn't know what he's doing.
We'll give it time, I guess. I don't really know what to say. But I can what I could say.
Yeah. All right, you want to move on to the last topic?
Yeah.
All right, so I was thinking, I'm trying to think of every podcast to do some sort of topic that's kind of like you could listen whenever and still take value from it. So last time we talked about the importance of individual training, and I figured that's a good move into when in our playing careers we develop the most as players. So do you want to kind of start, and then we'll see where the conversation goes?
So when I developed the most in my life, like a certain point?
Yeah. Maybe when you were a kid, maybe when you were like high school age, and then in college, like what kind of triggers, what teams were you playing for?
Okay, so the first thing that comes to mind, I was in like 7th or 8th grade when I switched from my local club team to like a higher level club team. And when I moved there, I didn't play a whole lot in my new club because they were good. Like they were a pretty good team, like one of the better teams in the area. And I feel like after a few years there, heading into like high school, like junior year of high school is when I started like felt like I was getting better. Than
Junior,
like
senior year of high school?
Well, yeah, after playing a few seasons with my club team that I've been playing with.
Yeah. I always thought you were at like a pretty good level in high school, like as a freshman and sophomore. Like you were on the JV team as a freshman, which is pretty good at the prep. And you were on the varsity team as a sophomore, which is also pretty good and got minutes. It's better than I did. And then I think it started clicking for you at club. And, you know, sometimes you kind of found your confidence, I guess, and just played more, right?
Yeah. I think at college, I was able to, I don't know how to say, just, I don't know, I felt like, I don't know. At college is when I thought I really started to break out.
Yeah, I think so. I think you, I remember you when you were a junior in high school, I only watched like one of your games because I was in college, and you were playing good as like a right back, but you never really played right back before. And then your senior year, you moved to center mid. And I think that's where you looked like just like a smaller version of how you play now.
Like physically? Smaller version? Or
Physically, play style, that kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. And then in college, you just kind of took it up a level.
I guess you could say like I was never always a center mid, but once I started playing center mid more consistently is when like I don't know. I feel like at college is when I really like broke through and started playing at my best.
Do you remember, like, this is something I try and think about now as I try to relate to like the players I coach. What was like, what did you think going into practices, games, and like evaluating your play when you went to your new club team and you weren't playing a lot?
I was always scared, like, because the coach, like, I would be scared, like, what the coach thinks and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I wasn't too worried about it. Like, I kind of just did it, kind of just played.
Yeah. So you think you just broke out of that naturally? You just played more and just felt more comfortable, or?
Yeah, I think, and then the way the coach was, like, if you played well, he'd just keep playing you, and like you get confidence from that, I guess. And that's how it was for me, and then
we talked last time about individual training. Did you were you training on your own the whole time? Did you up the training and then like back it down at some point?
I don't really remember. I don't know when I started training on my own. Maybe like sophomore year of high school. I don't know.
You think that helps?
Well, yeah, it did help.
Yeah. I just mean like.
Remember you telling me one time is you're like, yeah, you got good at dribbling out of nowhere. You said that to me, and I was just true. Like I got like really good at dribbling. Like I was never like really good.
Did I say this to you?
Specifically, I was never really good at anything.
Yeah.
I guess I was just pretty good at some stuff. And then
You're kind of athletic. You're like an okay player. Like I'm just thinking of you at the local team.
yeah, and then I remember it was like a few years ago. You were like, bro, and then you just go to dribbling out of nowhere.
You kind of did. I feel like you're a weird dribbler. You're like, I'm gonna say tricky, deceptive, smooth. You're like a snake. Kind of slither like a snake.
Word.
I don't know what player in the world plays like a snake. Maybe like Kovacic.
I've seen you.
Yeah, not quite.
Yeah.
So, all right. What do you think? How about more recently in college? What has taken your game from maybe where you were as a freshman to now? What helped you improve the most?
What, in college?
Yeah, like these college years, or from senior in high school to now.
I mean, I guess just training and always being like willing to play. So if someone says, yo, play for my team or something, I'll be like, yeah, I'll go play. Like I was thinking about it like today, like I am involved in so much soccer right now. Like I have 3 team practices a week. I mean, I'm on another team that practices 2 times a week. And then I play pickup on one night. I'm on a men's league team, and then I got games on the weekends. So like I'm playing like soccer like all the time.
Dude, I miss it, man. Like I know, like I have to bail out on men's league because I'm coaching and whatever. But like, I just wish we could play more. Like we never really had that when we were little. Like we didn't have a group of guys we could just call and be like, "Hey, want to go play pickup?"
Yeah.
Dude, I wish we did, dude. It sounds fun.
Yeah, been literally playing every day, and that's like how it is normally for me.
Do you think playing every day help? Like obviously it helps, but do you think the improvement of playing every day is more important than individual training, or is it a mix?
Just playing every day. It's just playing, training, same thing. But one thing I noticed is that a lot of people don't do stuff on their own. So when they stay here and you're doing like little bit of stuff every day, you're going to here. Like, yeah, I'm going like this. And that's what happened, really. You see people at my college, then you saw people who I played with in high school, and or like played against in high school. And those kids aren't as good as they should have been, or aren't even playing soccer anymore. Yeah. Just because I kept consistent with it and just kept going.
Mm-hmm. So when you
and I'm better than them, I'm just saying like that's how I feel, because like they stayed here by doing nothing, and
when you're little, a lot of times you get by with just roll up to the field one day, you play, you're better than a kid, you go home. But at this level, like when the margins are smaller, the better you are, the sharper you are. How about, so I know like the one team you're playing for now is like pretty high level. Do you think it's a higher level than your college, or like do you think that translates?
It's definitely a higher level than my college. It's probably one of the highest levels I've played at, trained at. So,
what do you think? Remember, I would always tell you, like,
probably the highest level I've played at.
I would always tell you, like, hey, like, if you can, go challenge yourself on this summer team or whatever, because, like, if you're at one level and you're consistent, even if you're a good player at this level, just playing more at that level doesn't really make you better. Yeah. You got to, like, go up a level. And then you put in all this extra work to adjust to that level. Then as soon as you adjust to the level and go back down to your original level, you're better.
The amount of times you just said level.
Level up. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that's why, you hear, it's a bit different, but you hear people say, oh, go challenge yourself in Europe. But if you challenge yourself at a higher club team, then when you come back down to, I don't know, if that club team's higher level than the national team or something like that, you come back down to that level, you're better. You're used to quicker passes. You need to be sharper. You're leading guys with your passes. You're taking touches with the proper foot. You're in the right position. Right?
Yeah, like the first few weeks when I was practicing them, it was tough. Like it was like real fast paced and stuff. But now I'm used to it. Like now I'm like, oh, this is how fast it should be.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of people, in the US, I think people think like in basketball, you go get 1,000 shots a day from the corner three. You're going to get really good at a corner three, no matter who you play against. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But in soccer, if you go to the field and practice every day, like you're going to improve it a ton. Obviously, we are the biggest advocates for individual training, but you're not going to turn into a pro just from doing that. You have to go seek out challenges, whether it's playing pickup and working on stuff in that, or seeking out like organized soccer challenges. So like a higher level team or a higher level college or higher level club team if you're that young. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I kind of look at it as not like, oh, like I need to be at this level. I kind of look at it as like, this is where I'm at, and I use it to get better.
Yeah, yeah. What was I just had an example in my mind. Crap, I forget. What? It's going to drive me nuts.
It's all right.
But so basically what I'm saying is you can't go from you're playing at this like crappy local club team when you're 15 years old and you say, I'm going to go be Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm going to go to the field every day. That's great, but you're not going to be Cristiano Ronaldo by going to the field every day. You're going to be a better player because you go to the field every day and work your way up to be on a better club team. And then that better club team, maybe you work your way up to be a starter on that club team.
Yeah.
And from there, you go to a college or play like you were talking about USL League 2, like PDL or something like that. Work your way up to try and be in the reserves to the starters or something. And then from there, there's mini hops, like mini jumps you go through.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. So I think like for me, I was just, I think like a bit similar to you, but like we didn't know much about the soccer process when we were younger. It's like I stayed on like my local town team for like a while. Played freshman as a freshman, played on the JV as a sophomore. Oh, I'm coughing a lot. And I improved because I trained a lot on my own. I worked really hard and that kind of stuff. But like one of the biggest jumps, so I was on varsity as a junior, but like it was okay. I played every once in a while. But like I left my local team and played for it was a better club team, but it wasn't insanely better. It wasn't super high level, like play good possession. But the coach would like get the most out of me. I'd play center mid. He told me to shoot all the time. He wanted me to be aggressive because he saw I didn't do that. And he saw that helped my game.
yeah.
That coach, Dwayne, love that guy. He's not going to go be he's not going to coach Barcelona, but he sees what was wrong with me. And he recognized that like I was one of the better players on that team because I worked so hard to get to that level. It's like I was one of the better players on the team. And then from there, I ended up being like, you know, really like had a good season. I was like a senior in high school. And then in college, it was kind of similar. Like a lot of times we talk about like as a player, you develop, like you stagnate. So like there were times in my freshman, sophomore, and junior year of college where I didn't play much or I played a lot or whatever. So it's kind of like this, little ups and downs. But like I worked really hard in the summer going into my senior year, and I challenged myself on a summer team going into that year, right? And like part of it, you might be one of the better players on that team, but just having a different experience, like having to adapt with different people, a different play style, it's like doing something out of your comfort zone, like helps a ton. And doing that helped prepare me for a good like senior year of college. And then from there, like there was no way I was actually at the level to play where I ended up playing. Like, but I worked really hard on my own. So again, I'm at this level, this base level after my senior year of college. And I worked really hard to just get up to this level just to get my foot in the door. And then I had like my first week of training with the Philadelphia Fury that one time. And then literally the week after that, I came back and I was able to train with my college team for the spring season. And I was like, oh, holy crap. Like I just leapfrogged this level because I went up a level and was able to adjust.
Yeah.
But the only reason I could adjust was because I did all that work. So even though my mind might not have been thinking as quick as some of those guys on the Fury when I first went, but I worked so much on my first touch, on my fitness, on my dribbling, on my close control. Yeah, that I could adjust and go quicker. Yeah. And then from there, same thing with like when I went and played in that summer, and then from that summer to the Philadelphia Fury. And even like my first like full like season, so the fall of 2018 with the Philadelphia Fury, I wasn't that good. I was probably one of the like bottom few players there, but it took me longer to adjust. But I feel like that winter was the most I ever improved. So fall of 2018 to spring of 2019, I feel like I got a lot better. Even if I didn't always show it, it clicked in my mind. I knew it, but because I went out of my comfort zone, I learned a bunch about the game, but I was also staying sharp on my own, working hard on my own. But I got a better understanding of the game because I challenged myself in these different settings.
Yeah, and I think people will experience stuff like that once they make a jump like that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Just play at a higher level, not like, oh, I practice my right-footed curlers for 3 weeks straight, and I got really good. Like that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about like stepping up a level, playing with new people.
Yeah,
and it's like mental too.
Yeah, it's a lot mental, but that's part of putting in the hard work and whatever.
So it's basically all mental.
Yeah, most sports are mental.
Like, well, you can reach a level.
Mm-hmm.
Like your potential's there, and then I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really know where you're going with that mental thing.
I was
just
just saying,
statement.
I was just saying, like you have the potential can be reached.
Yeah,
and like through that, like stepping up a level, that's how you did it.
I don't think people. I don't know if I really believe in like predetermined potential. You know.
Yeah.
Like I would say I'm like a fairly athletic guy. Like growing up, I was middle of the pack, maybe like growing up or whatever. I'm not at Cristiano Ronaldo's fitness level or natural speed or quickness or whatever. But I feel like because I put in the work, I was able to adjust to the different levels. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had something else to go and I forgot that too. But I think if you're exposed to the right environment at a certain age at the right time, you could jump a level, right? I really don't think Pulisic would have been where he is now if he didn't go out of his comfort zone and maybe he didn't play for a certain team when he was 9 years old. Or maybe he wouldn't have clicked right if he didn't go to Dortmund at whatever it was, 15 or 16. Maybe he could have been a different type of player. But I really think if I were to go to, I don't know, if I was 13 and some random dude was like, hey, come play for this Bundesliga academy, I feel like I'd be pretty good. I'm not saying I would be a world-class player, but the better coaching at certain ages, like I think you're a product of your environment a lot of times too.
And that's what I think about Brenden Aaronson. Like he's been at the Union for so long.
Yeah.
Like he's been making his way up, doing the same thing all the time, but now like he's going to go to Europe, completely different, play at a higher level. And I feel like he's just like you can tell how good he's shown it sometimes, but you could tell like how good Brenden Aaronson could be. So,
yeah, he shows like flashes of like a little shimmy, a dip of the shoulder, get out of pressure, and that kind of stuff.
Example.
I think, there's a point where your development kind of stagnates, but when you're young, like you learn things and you pick up on them so quickly.
Yeah.
And I would consider myself a late bloomer in terms of soccer. And I always go back and look at like, compare myself to the kids that I coach, depending on whatever age. And I was like, what was I thinking at that point? What did I think of my play? Like, what was I doing? And I really think something like literally just like clicked a few times, like later in my college career, early after my college career playing with the Fury. And like, I feel like I understand the game at like such a better level now. So you can never stop learning. And like, part of it is just not giving up too. It sounds corny, but like, I knew I wanted to play more soccer. I didn't know if I wasn't going to make MLS, you know, maybe who knows, you know,
it's never too late.
Yeah. I'm knocking the rust off, but if you just don't give up, like you're going to keep playing at some point. Right. Some guys I think are unrealistic and think, oh, I'm never going to give up. Like I just got turned down at this open tryout, even though I'm at that level. Like, no, like maybe you need to go to a different level, but adapt to that level before you make that jump.
I guess.
Yeah.
So,
It's weird because I feel like we both have similar ideas and like similar paths too, obviously, but our thoughts are everywhere. And there's so many different factors
okay.
but if anyone has a question, I feel like it'd be easier to answer specific questions than for us to just talk about it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. You got anything else with that?
I don't think so.
It goes down to really, like, I'm going to hammer this point home. When you're younger, play as much as you can. Play as much pickup, spend more time with the ball. Juggling, shooting,
I mean,
work on your skill moves.
That's what you want to do. And if you want to get better, I'm like, that's what you do.
Get out of your comfort zone too. Like one time, like, talked about like comfort zone. I was always really nervous when I played. So like going into probably after my junior year of high school, my club team, like they weren't doing, I don't know, we just weren't doing enough. And I was kind of mad. So this was right before I switched to go to my new team, Glassboro Elite.
Yeah.
So, and I knew I like wanted to play in college. Like I wanted to keep playing. So like dad signed me up for like this random like college, like ID clinic thing. And it was nothing, but I was like, you know what? Like, I just feel like playing soccer. So I was nervous as heck. Like it was weird. It was like indoors. It wasn't even like a full 11v11 game. And I'm like, oh, these kids are going to be sick. I was like, I get there and I'm like, these kids aren't that good. Like I'm just as good as them, if not better. And part of it was I was doing the work. Part of it might've been, it probably wasn't the most legit college ID camp. It could have been a money grab, but I just wanted to play. And then it got me to see like, oh, I could play with these guys. I can compete. Like no one's going to laugh at me. I'm not going to get played off the field, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Well, like when you get nervous, like, yeah, ask yourself, like, who's telling you that stuff in your head, you know?
Yeah,
like,
and it was in my head. And that was one of the biggest problems in my playing career. I was really in my head a lot.
If you go somewhere and you're like, these kids are going to be sick, like, I'm not going to play well. Well, ask yourself, well, who told you that?
Yeah.
Like, so.
Sometimes I think sometimes you could fake it till you make it, right? If you look like you're confident, you're going to be at least a little bit more confident. If you start telling people what to do, like, hey, drop, step, slide, shift, whatever, you're going to start adapting to that level a little bit better.
Yeah.
And then slowly you complete a pass, you complete another pass, you start to find your game a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's why, and then as a coach, I think like when I step in now or I would play, I'd be like, all right, I'm just going to have some fun. I feel like I'm so much better. Like I think if I gave myself 3 or 4 weeks to really get like fit, get back into the swing of things, and I still work out and train a lot, I feel like I'd be a much better player now just because I got a different perspective. I'm not as like nervous when I play.
Mm-hmm.
I used to think like I have a lot to lose. Like if I don't play well, like what if I'm done playing after college, or is this my last season playing or whatever? Sometimes you just gotta like not worry about that too.
Yeah.
So that's what I got for that topic. Hopefully that made sense to people other than us.
Kind of made sense. We were kind of going all over the place, but it's all right.
I'm sure someone would take some knowledge from that.
Well, yeah.
Let's sum it up. Three points, right? Confidence in yourself, right?
Step out of your comfort zone.
Hold on. So step out of your comfort zone. But to do those two things, train on your own, right? Play pickup, spend time with the ball, live and breathe the game, right? What else is there?
I guess.
That's it. Cool.
I guess so.
You got anything else?
Don't think so.
Sweet.
Just
play some FIFA.
Yeah. So you're about to play some FIFA. What are you gonna do? Career mode?
Yeah, I think I might start a manager mode with like I'm thinking some like lower division team in Europe, but I want to have enough money to buy. I want to be like, yo, I'm going to start with this bottom of the table team in England and work their way up. Like, no, I want to have enough money to buy like some exciting Americans and like guys that I like.
Do it with
Paris FC.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it. I want to buy I don't think we talked about him on the podcast, but this guy Sam Lammers, he played for PSV. And he got bought by Atalanta, and I was high on him the first time I saw him, and he's good.
He's just a random guy that you like.
At least we have this podcast now, so we could document like when we're high on guys.
Yeah.
So like in 3 years, when Mackenzie's captaining like
Mackenzie and
Arsenal,
Lammers are up for on the or just those two.
but they're both going to be playing for Arsenal. Mackenzie's going to be the captain, just those two. Mackenzie's going to be the captain of Arsenal, and I'm going to be like, I told you he was like a Puyol.
Arsenal. Why not Barcelona?
Seems like it fits. He's not going to go to Barcelona.
Ah, my bad. But I've been doing some manager mode with Everton.
That's probably pretty fun.
Yeah, it's good.
How you doing?
I just buy a ton of young players with potential. I just look up FIFA player potential.
That's cheating.
Sort it by the highest potential, and then buy like some guys who are like 65 overall, but with like 88 potential.
Nice, dude.
So like in like 3 years, it'll be nice.
I was watching some YouTube videos of a guy with like Man United or Barcelona doing it. It seems like the transfer fees are pretty inflated. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They added a lot new stuff, a lot more new stuff.
Yeah. So I'll check it out.
Yeah.
All right. You ready to get off?
Yeah. Gotta get ready for this Union game later.
Come on, you boys in blue. Yeah, it's at 7:30. All right. We good?
Yep.
All right. That's episode 12. Please, send us questions, like share with your friends. It helps. Give us a review. All right. We good?
Yep.
All right. Peace.
See ya.